Welcome, you are listening to YOYO News and I am your host Rahib Hussain. Today's topic will be domestic abuse, a problem which has been troubling society for generations.
An often underestimated and stereotyped matter, domestic abuse is a serious issue which we should all be aware of. Now to Natasha, who will expand on lifting the lid on victims of domestic abuse.
When we think of abuse, we assume that it's an alcoholic man on a council estate beating his girlfriend. That's not always the case.
People we least expect can turn out to be the victims of abuse or even be the abuser. Sometimes the signs are hard to notice.
People assume that cases of domestic violence only happen to certain people, but the reality of the situation is it can happen to anyone in any amount of wealth or sexuality.
A case of domestic violence that proves no person of wealth or influence is below abuse is comedian Justin Lee Collins.
Collins was found guilty of charges of harassment and was sentenced to 140 hours of community service after being reported to have verbally, physically and mentally abused her.
He would hit her, call her a fat dog riddled with cellulite, and sickeningly kept a book filled with all of her previous sexual encounters to belittle her. He also threatened to kill her.
Many times celebrities can be the abusers, but they cannot be the victims as well. And at this point it becomes hard to talk about it as in a position of influence.
And Nigella Lawson's ex was cautioned for assault after images of him abusing Nigella have been published in a newspaper. She defended her husband at the time, which is believed to be for the protection of her children, which she later stated in court.
The pair divorced shortly after, but allegedly it was a playful tiff between the two and was not an aggressive attack.
One of the most high-profile cases of assault was the Rihanna and Chris Brown case, in which it was reported that he attacked her pre-Grammy in 2009.
Brown assaulted her in his car by punching her and throwing her out of the car. He was charged with 5 years of probation and 6 months of community service.
Rihanna has spoken about the incident and said she felt forced to relieve the very serious incident by the media, but also believes that it is a very serious thing that is still relevant.
Now we are over to Mary on how to spot domestic abuse in any case at all, no matter what the...
Today we are going to talk about telltale signs of abuse.
Many people are now trained and employed to spot signs of domestic abuse.
Jobs such as being a doctor and hairdresser. The reason why these jobs are important for this issue is because they are up close and personal with the victims by spotting any bruises or cuts you wouldn't find walking past them in the street.
The abuse that people are getting may come from their partner, ex-partner or family members.
Things these people can do changes the victim's personality, like being quiet, not going out as much and not wanting to talk about their home life.
There can also be physical problems from this by having cuts or bruises.
These help people identify whether someone is a victim of domestic abuse.
The stages of domestic abuse are that you are in love and nothing can change but how you feel about your partner, and then to be moody and wanting everything their own way can be the first signs of domestic violence.
The developed signs could be when your partner or family member starts to become possessive over you and has bursts of anger. Also, they can become manipulative and start emotionally blackmailing you.
When the domestic abuse starts to get worrying, they can put sexual abuse on you and pressurise you into doing things you don't feel comfortable doing and get physical by punching or hurting you.
If you feel you are going through any of these symptoms, please do contact Childline at 0800 1111, or if you are in danger, ring 999 straight away, because there is no excuse for abuse.
Thank you for listening. Back to the studio.
Thank you to Natasha and the team for that important report on abuse. Next, Habiba and her team investigating about what to do and where to go for help and support if you're a victim of domestic abuse.
Thanks, Sammy. I'm Habiba from Oakwood High School. My group are going to be talking about difficulties that surround abuse and breaking the cycle of abuse. Sometimes people don't report abuse because they feel embarrassed to do so.
It can be hard to report people that we love because we care for them.
In many cases, people are afraid. Some people don't want to see the reality of the situation and pretend that it's not happening.
Some of the signs of abuse are not visible. So if it happens, you can report it on somebody's behalf. You can break the cycle of abuse by telling someone you trust. This can be done confidentially if you're not confident.
You can get help from a trusted adult or friend, a school teacher, family members, or the police if you feel that you're in imminent danger.
If you don't feel like you can tell anyone face to face, you can get support online at childline.org, NSPCC, or check the YOYO website for other helplines.
Remember, there's no excuse for abuse. Back to the studio.
Thank you to Habiba and her team for emphasising the importance of telling someone if you think that you are a victim of domestic abuse. Natasha explained that lifting the lid on people who have become victims of domestic abuse.
If you need to receive help, call Childline. The number is 0800 1111. I repeat, 0800 1111. The website is childline.org. If you feel you're in imminent danger, call 999.
Thanks for listening to YOYO News. Remember, there's no excuse for abuse.